Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Offense Defense Sports Report, your one-stop shop for all the info and talk about football you'll ever need, from youth athletes to the pros. Hey, I'm your host, Dougie Siles, and for our first episode, we're going to be coming at you with expert analysis on Super Bowl 45, including predictions and players to watch. We'll also talk a little bit about our 2007 OD Bowl MVP Cam Newton and his decision to enter the NFL Draft, as well as what some of our other OD Bowlers are up to. And, of course, we're going to get into all the exciting new OD programs and events you can expect to see coming your way pretty soon. But first, a message from our offense-defense president, Rick Whittier.
Hi, I'm Rick Whittier, president of Offense Defense Sports, and I was overwhelmed with the outpouring of support this year for the 5th annual Offense Defense Bowl Week held at the end of December. Over 6,700 visitors from all over the United States descended on Myrtle Beach for this very, very special event. We wouldn't have been able to have pulled it off without each and every one of you. The caliber and quality of athletes participating in this year's bowl game was unprecedented. It was unparalleled. We were extremely pleased with all of the elements of Bowl Week. The high school All-American game featured 88 of the nation's top high school football players. The youth All-Americans, these games saw players from ages 7 to 14 getting experience, exposure, introducing them into the offense-defense progression. Bowl Week also highlighted Offense-Defense Football League's national championship, which was a terrific success. 16 teams competed locally and regionally and made it all the way to Myrtle Beach to compete for the national championship. New this year from Offense-Defense, starting in February, we'll be coming to a town near you with our Spring Series Combines. We were impressed with the traffic and response to our OD Next Level Combines held at the Bowl Week, and so we want to be able to kick off our new placement service. So we're initiating these combines in areas near you to get evaluations and ratings and videos and statistics from a lot of the players around the country. Most importantly, these players will be able to get exposure to colleges that they wish to be presented to. While Bowl Week signified an end to 2010, it also got 2011 off to a great start. In addition to our spring series, our camps will also be better than ever. A new curriculum will be seen at all 40 of our summer camps, featuring a thumps tempo, uppers only training for high school players, including extensive evaluations, talent analysis for every one of our campers, and expanded OD TV coverage like what you're seeing right now. About the only thing that's staying the same this year at Offense Defense will be our commitment to excellence in education, both on and off the field. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the show, and I look forward to seeing you at camp this summer.
Thanks, Rick. Great stuff as always. All right, we're just getting kicked off here, and I want to welcome to the show our very own NFL insider, Offense Defense Operations Director, Mr. California himself, Artie Gigantino. Artie, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm sad that the football season's finally coming to an end. But, got about 2 weeks, it'll be all over, and everybody will start worrying about summer camps in our area, but also spring football in college and getting some break in the action in the NFL.
That's great. Now, obviously, you've had some great experience with football, working for Southern Cal and the Raiders. Let's talk about Super Bowl coming up. All right, OD football camps being held at Dallas Stadium too. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, you know, we're very fortunate to be able to go to Cowboy Stadium. We started the deal last summer, and obviously we've cultivated it this year, and you know we just can't wait to get down there on the 12th of June. We will have the entire stadium in the morning and in the evening. We'll have an abbreviated part of the stadium during the midday. But I'll tell you, it's going to be a great experience, not only for offense, defense, because in the history of football camps, I don't know if anybody has had a contact football camp in a brand new stadium like Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So it's going to be a great experience, like I said, not only for this organization, but also for the youngsters that are going to participate as campers at the camp.
Absolutely. Doesn't get any bigger than Cowboy Stadium.
Doesn't get any bigger, better. Okay. And ironically, because the Super Bowl is also going to be there, it'll be on a national stage. Now, if you could just give us some money, we could have a national commercial during the Super Bowl.
All right.
It'd be a heck of a deal for
That's
us.
right. That's right. All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl. AFC right now, who do you like?
Well, I mean, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be one great game. You know, when these two teams played, it was a 1-point difference earlier in the year, 35-36, I think it was. But I love the fact that the Steelers are great on defense. And I also love the fact that they're very healthy. And Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator from the Pittsburgh Steelers, will bring unbelievable pressure on a banged-up offensive line with the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, who's playing very well. Now, that being said, the Packers are built for the indoors, even though they've played a couple games outside already. But, you know, they are built for the indoors. They're fast. They're fleet. They do a lot of different things on offense from a quickness standpoint. So I think it's going to be a great game. And, you know, you couldn't have a better matchup in terms of two traditional powers. You know, you think of football, the first Super Bowl win was the Green Bay Packers with the great Vince Lombardi. The Steelers are going for ring number 8, which is unbelievable. So you couldn't have a better matchup in a beautiful stadium like Dallas Cowboy Stadium.
Now let's talk about sheer athleticism with the Packers. What makes them so special? How are they standing out this year?
Well, you know what? I think it's all around the guy who's the quarterback. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is playing lights out. You know, I coached at Cal. He wasn't there when I coached, but I got the chance to see him when I was at the Raiders when he was playing for the University of California. This is a talented guy that a lot of people missed on in the draft, because a lot of people right now would go back and say, man, we should have taken this guy with a top 10 or top 15 pick. However, I believe the heart and soul, what they're doing with Green Bay this year, is on defense. I mean, Charlie Woodson, who was with us at the Raiders, is one of the great players of the last 2 decades on defense in the NFL.
Wow.
He does it all. He blitzes, he can cover, he can return kicks, obviously, when he has to. Clay Matthews is a tremendous athlete coming off the corner. But I think the real star, there's 2 stars. I think there's an unknown bunch of guys in the defensive line for the Packers that have just done a wonderful job this year of just playing a little bit under the radar. That's number 1. I think Dom Capers, who along with Dick LeBeau, he's the defense coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, is probably, those 2 guys are the top 2 defensive coordinators in the National Football League. So you take a guy like Capers, you take a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you take a Clay Matthews, and you take a Charlie Woodson, man, I'll tell you, that's going to be an unbelievable foe for the Steelers. But at the end of the day, I still believe the Steelers will win the game.
All right, now with all that said and done, am I putting my money on the Steelers?
Well, I don't know. I think this is one of those games you don't bet. I think you take it for the sheer enjoyment of it. But, you know, whenever you say there's going to be a defensive struggle, it ends up beating the overs and ends up being a ton of points being scored. Interceptions, fumbles, defense is not ready, get tricked a little bit. You know, I kind of dig what Green Bay's doing with that bone offense. You know, the 2 big guys line up in the backfield, and Starks is back there like a wishbone-type tailback. So I think you have real imaginative coaches and 2 doggone good quarterbacks.
Now, let's talk about some particular players that you think could be key in making some decision-making plays that could, you know, take the game anyway towards the end of the game.
Oh, I think Starks is one of them. I think Mendenhall from the Steelers is another. I mean, he had a great first half against the Jets when the Steelers decided just to go in there and pound the football. You know, I think you look at the Steelers from a receiver standpoint. I don't. You know, Ben Roethlisberger does a great job of moving the ball around to different guys. One thing also, you know, I haven't talked about Big Ben much, and obviously we all know what happened to him at the beginning of the year. But hey, they went 3-1 without him. But this is a guy who's like a tree. He's a tough guy to bring down. And as you saw the other day when they were playing the Jets, he can make things happen with his feet. I'm not sure I've ever seen a guy that big move around as much as he does, and his ability to escape. You know, we all look at the Michael Vicks and in the old days, the John Elways, these guys that had great escapability, Steve Young, Warren Moon. But this guy's got tremendous escapability. It just doesn't look like he's that fast because he's so big.
Right.
And he can throw the ball in there, and I think he's 9-2 right now in playoffs. And can you imagine, here's a guy that not everybody's really talking about, but if he wins, that will be his 3rd Super Bowl.
Wow.
Now all of a sudden you're talking about him in the same vein as you talk about a Montana, a Terry Bradshaw, and a Tom Brady. That would be something.
All right, Artie, you've been a part of Super Bowl 37 as a member of the Oakland Raiders. Can you give us some insight into what these teams and coaches are going to be going through in preparation for the big match?
Yeah, you know, it was unusual for us because we only had a 1 week of preparation. And that happens once in a while because of the calendar year. So we beat the Ravens on a Sunday, and, hey, we were all going to San Diego on a Monday. It's thrilling. You try to take it all in, but it's a lot of work because you're moving an entire organization to San Diego. And again, we were lucky we only had to go down, Highway 1 from San Francisco to San Diego. But you take 500 people with you between players, their families, and the entire organization, and you take over an entire hotel. I think the trick, though, is to make sure the players understand and are isolated enough so that they can prepare for the game. Like we took the players the night before our game and put them in a different hotel away from the families and away from everybody else. And, it didn't work because we just got splattered by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers came and they were ready to play. Rich Gannon was our quarterback at the time. He had an off day. And, hey, we didn't win, but we rode the back of Rich Gannon. Now, that being said, you got to treat it from a football standpoint as a normal week. If you try to throw too many gadgets in or change too many formations or try to out-trick somebody, you got no chance. Because, again, the players are going to take a couple days off this week, probably come in on Wednesday, Thursday, and then start preparing on Sunday, and then go down to Dallas on Monday, and then kick off the normal week. The other thing you have to be careful of as a player, the thing called the press. You've never seen more press in your life than you do at a Super Bowl.
Right.
And everybody gets interviewed.
Right.
No matter where you're from, no matter what you've done or haven't done, there's always somebody there from your hometown
Right.
to interview
That's
and
right.
to ask you stupid questions.
Right.
But, if you're Big Ben, if you're Aaron Rodgers, now you're going to hold court to about 400 or 500 different media outlet people there. That being said, it's an unbelievable party time for those of us that aren't playing in the game or coaching in the game.
Right.
I mean, the commissioner's party is one of the great parties of all time, and everybody from EA to Madden's game to Sports Illustrated, everybody's there doing something.
Wow.
It's a who's who, and it's where everybody goes to party. And if you're an agent or if you're an actor, and again, we were lucky because we were in San Diego, so many people from Hollywood were there,
Right.
and it was just so cool walking around. And it's a fun, festive thing. And quite frankly, if you're a non-player or non-coach, you almost think it's the Mardi Gras as opposed to a game. But then about Saturday, you say, okay, hey, it's starting to be game time. And
Right.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, let's talk
But nobody spares any expense. And I'll give you an example. Is that we lost the game, and obviously before the game, you don't know one team's going to win and lose. But the NFL gives you $100,000 for the post-game party in the hotel.
Wow.
$100,000.
Wow.
I mean, there's some pretty good steaks being carved and some
Right.
turkeys being carved in that thing. So, they spare no expense, and it's really a festive thing. And, you have a post-game party for 1,000 of your closest friends.
Wow. I always wanted to know what happens to the hats and the T-shirts if you don't win.
You donate them to charity. I think we came to the Oakland high school system. And
Wow.
I think I might have one home in the closet. But, yeah, you got to print those babies up before, too.
Yeah.
They go straight to charity.
Right.
And you know what's good about that, though? The NFL pays for them.
Yeah.
It's not like the Raiders or
Right.
Tampa Bay or,
Right.
you don't pay for them. And the NFL kind of keeps them
Right.
until halftime. And then if they've got an idea you're going to win, they sneak them into the locker room. And, just like the other day, I guarantee you the Jets did not get their stuff
Right.
at halftime.
Didn't happen. Too funny. Let's talk about the teams. After all, it's really hard to talk about the Super Bowl without kind of focusing a bit on the teams individually. We talked about the AFC a little bit. Huge year for the Steelers. How did that come about?
Well, I think it's the heart of a champion, and I think that heart of a champion starts in the organization. I mean, they've had 3 head coaches in some 42 years, which is unbelievable. They're in their 8th Super Bowl now. I mean, Cowher was 1-1. Obviously, Tomlin's won 1, and Chuck Noll won 4. I mean, this is an organization that is solid from the top down. It's a family-run organization. The Rooney family is just a wonderful family that runs a company in their shadow and in their mindset. So I think you're seeing that on the field. But stability, Doug, is the trick here. And again, I don't know in any other sport, and I cannot think, except for maybe college with the Bobby Bowdens and the Joe Paternos, do you see the consistency on the sidelines. You hire Chuck Noll when he was 32. You hire Billy Cowher when he was 33 and Tomlin when he was 32. I mean, that's great insight. It's great guts to make sure it works out. But I think it's the stability factor. And I've had a chance to know a lot of those guys and be around the Rooneys a little bit. And they give you the shirt off your back. But, you know, hey, it's all about the way they want something done.
Yeah.
Offense, defense football camps, ages 7 to 17. Over 40 plus locations across the nation. Join us this summer and learn the skills necessary to dominate the gridiron. Offense, defense football camps. The oldest and best contact camps in the country. OD.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ODTV. I'm Dougie Styles, and I am talking still with OD operations guru Artie Gigantino. Now, Artie, everyone's obviously focusing on the Super Bowl. Let's talk a little bit about Cam Newton. He's coming out this year. What do you think about that decision?
Well, I think it's the right decision. I mean, anybody that played at the level he played at this year, wins the Heisman Trophy, escapes controversy. I don't think he can duplicate that, nor can Auburn next year. So do it while you're hot. I think it's the right thing for him to do. Now, what's going to happen to Cam Newton, who, by the way, played in the OD All-American Bowl in 2008, right. I believe it was. He's an OD All-American. What's going to happen to him, people are going to find flaws with him. Because the more you look at him on film, if this is any player, the more you're going to say, well, he can't do this, he can't do that. I believe that he'll go somewhere in the middle of the pack. You know, he's not going to be the first pick taken, but I'll guarantee you he'll be somewhere between 10 and 15. Because we all know, and you take a look at Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben and what they've done, and even Jay Cutler this year, guys that go in the first round as quarterbacks, you're the future of that franchise. So he's going to be the future of somebody's franchise. We just don't know who. For his sake, I hope he goes to a solid organization and maybe doesn't have to play as a rookie. Can learn a little bit.
That's right.
You know, look from the sidelines and then come in. And don't take the lumps the way a Peyton Manning or a Rich Gannon, not a Rich Gannon, a Jim Plunkett did a long time ago.
Right.
Guys like that. You know, you want to go in, observe a little bit, and then maybe get yourself going with a winning organization. No matter what, though, Cam Newton will be a great representative, not only of himself, but also of offense, defense, but also of Auburn University when he goes to the National Football League. Because the other thing with him, and Sam Bradford's a great example of that this year with the St. Louis Rams, there's more to it than just being on the field and playing. The microscope is on you. You're living in a glass house for the next 15 years. So get ready, big boy. But I think this is a guy that can really handle it and handle it with class.
So do you think it would?
Plus, Doug, excuse me, he's got to stay healthy too. Right. That's another part of it because quarterbacks get shots, and in the National Football League, you're not going to be able to run around the way he did at Auburn. So you're going to take some shots, and you got to be able to stay healthy.
So if he does end up playing his first year out, do you think that'll be like a freshman jinx per se?
No, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I mean, that's the bad news is if he has to play, but the good news is just again like Bradford's doing and has done this past year. Hey, there's nothing like experience underneath the center.
Right.
But again, don't expect them to go 10 and 6
right.
when you're a rookie like that. That just doesn't happen. I think then the coaching Dougie takes over. Don't ask him to do too much. Have a plan of bringing him along slowly and only allow him that first couple games and that first year to do what he can do.
Right. So I understand there's some talks with the NFL right now between the coaches and the players. Will there even be a season next year?
I don't know. I would say that we're in the United States of America, and all things can get negotiated. I believe there has to be. There's too much money involved in television revenue. There's too many people's lives are at stake. I'm talking about players. I'm talking about administrators. I'm talking about coaches in the NFL.
That's right.
The only people that will make out next year, if there is no NFL season, would be the owners, because they still get their television money. But everybody else, I mean, they're going to lay off everybody from the ticket office people to the guys who work in the equipment room. And I don't think any NFL owner wants to do that. The only thing I'll say about that is I think they're foolish to go to 18 games. I think 16 games is enough. I think you're talking about a ton of injuries. I've always wanted to cut the preseason back to 2 games and then play 16 games. Because at the end of the day, if you play 4 preseason games, 16 regular season games, that's 20. If you're lucky enough to get into the playoffs, hey, that's 3 or 4 more. That's a half a year of football. The human body cannot take it. So I think they're crazy to add 2 more regular season games.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Any other OD bowlers going up in the draft?
There's a guy by the name of Corey Liggett He played in the 2008 game. He's a defensive end that went to Illinois out of Miami. He's a guy that's probably going to be taken in pick number, I'd say 22 to 30. Big, strong guy, pass rusher. A lot of people really like him. And we're looking at this year's draft. And, you know, we talk about Locker and we talk about Cam Newton as quarterbacks, but it's really a draft that's got a very, very high quality and quantity of defensive linemen, and Corey is certainly one of them.
All right. Awesome, man. We definitely will be looking for some big things from those guys. Now, Artie, we just finished up the 2011 OD All-American Bowl Week right here in Myrtle Beach. Huge success all around. Hats off to you and the staff, of course. One of the most exciting things was the players. I mean, we had some really great players out here in Myrtle Beach this year. And we obviously expect them to take off and do well in college. Out of the 80 or so superstars we saw on the field up close and personal, who do you think is going to make the biggest splash in the NCAA?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a tough question because there are so many really good players. But if I had to pick a group, it would be the defensive line of the West. And, you know, we had 5 guys there. We had 7 guys playing. But let me give you these 4 names, and I want you to remember them because all these guys are NFL caliber. One was Chase Ferris, big 6'6" kid out of Ohio, going to Ohio State. He was our MVP, the defensive MVP in the game. I think this guy's got a tremendous future, outstanding basketball player, can play end or tackle. On the other side of him is a guy who's the Sports Illustrated High School Player of the Week in Week 13 this year, Kenny Hayes, also out of Ohio, also going to Ohio State. These 2 guys will be bookends for the Buckeyes, and I'll promise you right now, they're both first-round draft choices. Another guy is Cedric Reed out of Texas, going to the University of Texas, big, strong, might start as a freshman at the University of Texas. And last and certainly not least, and he reminds me of the Fairleigh kid out of Auburn, this is Chris Hartley. He's from Indianapolis. He's going to Virginia Tech, about 6'3", about 295 pounds, has a motor that won't quit. Boy, was I impressed with him, not only on tape when we got him to come here, but also when I saw him here. So those 4 guys from the West, and Philip Dukes, a local kid from Manning, South Carolina, might have been the most impressive player on the East. When I look at that game, I look at our future stars, you know, as a defensive line with those 5 players. Now, that being said, Doug, there were a lot of other really good players around them, but if I had to take a core of what was special about this game, it was those defensive linemen.
Wow, great. All right, coming up next, we're going to be looking at a few of the new and exciting things offense-defense has going on this year. Don't go anywhere.
Badger Sport Play of the Game.
All right, we are back. You're watching ODTV. Hey, I'm Dougie Styles, and with me now is a very special guest. I'm talking about the offense-defense vice president and the owner and president of the outstanding nonprofit organization, OD Life, Matt Whittier. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Good to be back with you, Dougie.
All right, man, I got to ask the question. What happened to those Patriots, man?
Oh, you got to go there first, I tell you. You want me to start talking about poor officiating or Tommy Brady's foot or something along those lines?
Excuses.
I just can't go there. It's not many times you see Coach Belichick get out-coached, but Rex did a heck of a job. And, you know, you got to give them their props. It's a bummer that they didn't show up the same way against Pittsburgh. That was my only wish.
All right. So listen, we spoke with Artie a couple of minutes ago, and he's picking the Steelers for Super Bowl 45. Who's your pick?
I'm going to go with Green Bay if Artie's going with Pittsburgh. I got, there's no love coming out of the Steel City, so I got to go with Green Bay, and I hope that they get what they finally deserve.
All right, let's talk about two great organizations. You've started OD for Life and OD Life. Explain to us what they're all about.
Well, obviously everything started with offense-defense football camps a long time ago, and they blossomed and they grew. It became difficult time after time to say goodbye to those kids week after week, and so really what you have is you got old school traditional offense-defense football camps over here. And then we started OD Life over here that was helping the NFL players, whether it was the rookie who needed some agent assistance or whether it was the retired player needing some health assistance, appearances, benefits, anything we could really do to support them, as well as all the active players in between. In the middle, we kind of had a gap. We had to let the kids go when they were 17, 18 years old, when they were heading off getting their scholarships. And, we never really had an opportunity to stay with them. And it wasn't enough for us, as a family. It is the OD family, to stay with these kids year-round, to see them every June for 1 week just wasn't enough. So it's really a process more than anything else. The same way that offense-defense football camps has its progression that goes from the football camps to the select to the elite to the bowl. What OD4Life.com is meant to be is when these kids go home, they got to understand that they still have responsibility. There's a number of players in the NFL right now, and who have, their days have passed. They've had their last snap. They've been through their last huddle, and unfortunately, they're left in a tough situation that might have to do with family problems or bankruptcy, divorce, legal issues, etc. And if we start this educational process, not only we've already proven that we can coach football and we can take better than any company out there. We can take kids and turn them into terrific football players with incredible confidence. But now we need to send them home and let them know that they still have to have that responsibility to their own health. They need to be responsible to their own family. They need to understand the role that each family member has, mother, father, and themselves. They need to understand their chores. They need to be involved in their community. There's things that they can do that can get out there and help kids that are younger than them. They need to understand the importance of their academics. And so if we can get involved with them after they leave camp and let them know through OD4Life.com that there is a platform that's there to help them.
So OD for Life is now developing a more social marketing part of its existence per se. Let's talk about more of that. You're on Facebook.
Very much so, yeah. We jumped on Facebook. We've always been a little behind the times when it comes to the computer stuff with the internet and getting the websites. We were a couple of years behind on that, but we've done our best to catch up. And what we have now is all of our Facebook sites. There's 5 offense-defense Facebooks, and each one of those is filled up. We're not allowed to have more than 5,000 people per. We have our fan site that is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It's just offense, defense, football camp search on Facebook,
okay,
and you will see more pages than I've been able to count of past campers and parents that just give rave reviews and comments about their kids' experiences, and how it developed them and how it improved them not only on the field but off the field when they came home after camps.
Right, great. Let's talk about some of the new and improved websites that you guys have and how people can access the resources about offense, defense.
Yeah, right now I think it'd be pretty tough not to find us. We have the new odforlife.com, which is the social network that allows all of our different groups to congregate, lets our pro players assist the youth players. It gives the youth players an opportunity to stay in touch with one another, with the kids that they went to camp with in the summer. Certainly helps the high school kids with recruiting and all of the off-field assistance that it provides. We've got the odlife.com that is thorough, detailed for everything that we offer the NFL player. And, of course, offensedefense.com, o-d.com, that's got all the information you need to know about football camps. Footballmall.com is another one of our sites that sells all the football necessities you need, all for better prices that you're going to find elsewhere. We're sort of a self-sufficient group.
We'll be sure to check out that, and all the viewers at home should take a look at it as well. Matt, thanks a lot for coming by, man. Appreciate you taking time out your schedule.
See you soon, Dougie.
All right, man. Appreciate that a lot. All right, now don't go anywhere. We've got more info on the way, including OD camps during the spring. You don't want to miss that one, man. Hey, we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first episode of the Offense Defense Sports Report. My name is Dougie Stiles, and hey, we still have a little bit more offense defense to talk about before we wrap up the show this week. The 2010 OD camp season was one of the best yet, and it was capped off with a tremendously successful All-American Bowl week that concluded just a few short weeks ago. A lot of people want to know what's next for offense defense moving into the future, and to answer that question, well, we've got a special guest with us, Regional Recruiting Director Milo Weems from OD. Milo, thanks a lot for stopping by OD TV today. All right, now Artie and Matt gave up their Super Bowl predictions. Who are you going for and why?
Well, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the reason why, my brother was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and he passed away, so I'm going with his team.
All right, man. All right, black and yellow, black and yellow. Okay, let's talk about the new year at OD. A lot of changes going on. We've got OD for Life and OD Life. Matt just spoke about that a little bit, and I heard OD is rolling out the spring combines.
Yes, we are. This is our first year doing the OD combine, and we're definitely looking forward. What we're going to do, we're going to hit all 40 locations this year.
Okay.
So we're starting off in Miami, and we're going to end up in Philly on April the 30th.
That's great. So it seems like OD is now moving from just being a summer camp to an all-year-round football training organization. Let's talk about, when do these spring combines start?
Well, they start on February the 5th. We'll do 3 of them every weekend. The first 3 will be Miami, San Diego, and Orlando.
Okay, great. And what can we expect to see at the combines?
Well, what we're going to do on Saturday, we're going to do all the high school students, and we'll have them there from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. We're going to get from getting them signed up for OD for Life. We're going to get them registered. We're going to get their pictures. We're going to run them through all the different stations that we have.
Gotcha.
On Saturday. And then at 10 o'clock on that Saturday, we're doing a coaches clinic. We're bringing all the coaches in. We're going to get them certified. We're going to have them on the computer system, taking the certification test, and it's going to be all right.
Okay, all right, that's great, man. I'm a kid. I'm 16 years old. How do I get involved?
Well, one thing about it, you can go to our website. Our website has the top 100 combines, and then once you go there, you'll see from the registration through the schedule when we're in your area.
Okay.
You will also see where you can fill in your profile, everything about you.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, we'll have the youth combine from 7 years old to 15.
Okay.
So then the youth combine, we're going to have that. That'll be going on. Basically, they'll be doing some of the same things that the seniors are doing. Then we're going to have a mini camp with them after we do the combine.
Okay. So what's the difference between a combine and a summer camp for those who may not know?
But one thing about it, a combine, you're out there with just your T-shirt and shorts on. You're getting clocked in the 40. You're doing the shuttle. You're doing the vertical.
Okay.
You're doing different things like that. When you go to summer camp, it's full contact. From that Sunday, we have a clinic at 9 o'clock in the morning till 12, and then 1 o'clock kicks off the camp. We start hitting.
Okay.
We hit every day until we play our Super Bowl on that Wednesday.
Gotcha. Why is it so advantageous for an athlete to be a part of the spring combines?
Because, see, one thing about it, once you come to the spring combine, we want you at camp.
Okay.
So once you do that, you come to camp. You're being taught by the best, by NFL and college coaches.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like a stat builder, per se, the combines. See what you're working with.
There you go.
I like
There
that. Okay, let's talk about the summer camps. Some new changes this year, new locations, I believe.
Oh, yes, it is. We have one of our new locations is in Las Vegas. This will be the first time we've been out to Vegas. And then we also have Nickel State down in Louisiana.
Okay.
So we're going down in the bayou
All
for
right.
a little while. And then we also have Ohio. So we're going there
Okay.
this year.
Okay, great, man. Hey, can't wait to see the results. It's going to be big. Any other final comments, man?
Hey, man. Hey, just looking forward to the upcoming season. Want to get as many kids as possible out to our camp this year. We're the only full contact football camp. Hey, and if you want your child to learn the right way to play, then OD is the place to be. You can go to www.o-d.com, or you can go to top100.o-d.com.
All right, that's great, man. It's going to be very, very exciting having an opportunity to meet all the new campers and their families. Very cool stuff. Milo, thanks a lot for coming by. We appreciate you shedding some light on all those new developments you guys have been working on. Man, keep it right here. Going to be wrapping things up right after this.
Hi, I'm Marty Gigantino from Offense Defense. Our Chicago camp is out in Naperville, 25 miles from downtown Chicago at North Central College. Now, this university is 1 block from downtown Naperville, which is rated one of the top places in the United States to raise a family, but also one of the safest places in the United States. This 59-acre campus houses 3,000 students during the school year. It was founded in 1861, and it's got wonderful facilities from a dormitory standpoint and from an athletic standpoint. The Kauffman Center is where we eat. It is one of the better cafeterias in the 40 camps that we go to each summer. But the thing that's so unique about this year for us is we're going to be residing in the Res Rec Center. It's a recreation residential facility that's combined. Campers will be able to come out of their dorms and look into a big field house. It's as big a field house as they have in the National Football League. In fact, last year when there was poor weather on 2 occasions during the camp, we went inside and were able to practice without missing a beat. But the thing that I really like about the campus, not only is everything so close, but 100 yards from the dormitory is the Bendetti Worley Stadium. It's an AstroTurf facility that, again, is almost brand new. We enjoy playing on there. There's plenty of room, and it's about a minute walk between the cafeteria, the Res Rec Center, and the stadium. Hope to see you there in downtown beautiful Naperville.
Hey, it's Dougie Styles here, and welcome back to ODTV, everybody. It's been a fun and informative first broadcast, and there's going to be a lot more where that came from. I want to remind everyone to, once again, check back for new episodes because we're going to be talking all the NFL, college, high school, youth, and OD football news and notes you can handle and then some. And for those of you out there watching, if you have any highlights or videos that you want us to show, just send them to ODTV at o-d.com. That's ODTV at o-d.com. I'd like to thank my special guests today, Rick and Matt Whittier, Artie Gigantino, and Milo Weems for making this an awesome first show. Until next time, hey, this is Dougie Styles for ODTV, signing off.